An Afternoon Nap is a poem by the Singaporean poet Arthur Yap, published in the 1977 in the collection titled Commonplace. Yap's An Afternoon Nap is a free verse poem with no regular rhyme scheme or meter. This narrative poem is conversational in tone and is entirely in lowercase. It has 21 verses divided into 5 stanzas. Stanzas 1, 2, 3 and 5 are quatrains with 4 verses, but stanza 5 is a quintain with 5 verses. The poem speaker is a third-person omniscient anonymous spectator who regularly observes the exchange between mother and son as described in the poem. The speaker lives across the road from the mother and son in a contemporary Singaporean setting. Don't forget to subscribe. Yap's poem tells the story of a controlling mother and her unhappy son. The speaker describes a familiar scene. A woman living across the road is scolding and hitting her son because of his poor grades in school. The speaker refers to this mother as ambitious, but not in a positive way. It suggests that she is pushing her child to succeed for her own satisfaction rather than thinking about his well-being. The phrase "at it again" indicates that this harsh treatment is a usual routine in their home. There is an irony between how the mother views her actions and what she is actually doing. She believes that by punishing her son, she is proving that she is a good parent. However, in reality, she is hurting him both physically and emotionally. Yap plays with language to emphasize this. The mother does not announce her goodness in a traditional sense. Instead, she proclaims, which comes from an older English word meaning to shout. Rather than calmly encouraging her son, she uses loud and harsh words, almost like blows, to make him listen. Her list of complaints starts with his mediocre grades, showing that she judges his worth based on his academic performance. But her expectations don't stop there. She also forces him to practice piano in the afternoons under her strict supervision. The poem's title, An Afternoon Nap, suggests that if she truly cared about his well-being, she would let him rest after school. Instead, she hovers over him, making sure he practices. The poet compares her voice to that of an English teacher in Singapore, highlighting how unpleasant and exhausting her discipline is. In another comparison, the piano lesson is described as being as difficult as the hardest physical education exercise, showing just how tough and draining it is for the child. But she also intimidates him with her body language. Her movements are sharp and forceful, showing how aggressive and intimidating she is. Instead of using simple, gentle words, she speaks in long, complex sentences, making her sound even more authoritative. During his piano lessons, she hovers around him and shrieks whenever he makes a mistake. For every 2 missed notes, he gets hit. This makes it seem like he's not a child but an animal that needs to be controlled. His tears don't matter to her, only his performance does. His weekly tutoring sessions with Miss Lowe and Madam Lim cost the family $90, and all he gets in return are more lessons, piano practice, grammar drills, and a little pocket money. This leaves him exhausted and miserable because he has no free time to enjoy himself. In the 5th stanza, the poem shifts to the boy's point of view. The mother is described as ambitious, but the son is described as embittered, showing how her high expectations have made him resentful. The reader sees him standing across the street with his mother, but this time, he is not silent. Just as his mother shouts at him, he now shouts back, expressing his frustration and accusing her of being unfair. He specifically calls out her expensive taste for education, and the word expensive refers to the large amount of money she spends on his tuition. But it also represents the emotional cost. Her demands have drained him, making his life stressful and joyless. The mother is so focused on academic success, English proficiency, and musical skills that she completely ignores her son's emotional needs. Her strict parenting, rather than helping him, has only left him feeling overwhelmed, unhappy, and disconnected from her. The poem An Afternoon Nap highlights how extreme parental pressure can distress children instead of helping them. While parents may believe they are acting in their child's best interest, their strict discipline and high expectations can make children feel unhappy, resentful, and disconnected. The poem follows a demanding mother who constantly criticizes her son for his poor grades, convinced that her strictness is necessary for his success. However, instead of motivating him, her harsh punishments only make him miserable and distant. She wants him to excel academically, learn a second language, and master the piano, but instead of offering encouragement, she enforces discipline through scolding and physical punishment. The poem suggests that her ambition blinds her to what her son actually needs: love, understanding, and support. Her parenting style is not just strict but also intimidating and even cruel. She moves aggressively, her body tense and swift, as she strikes the piano keys and circles her frightened son like a predator. She even mocks him, humiliating him while physically punishing him. Rather than showing warmth or kindness, she is harsh, critical, and unrelenting. Her beatings do not make him work harder, they only leave him bitter and confused. The son does not passively accept his mother's treatment. He pushes back, loudly protesting her expensive taste for education, referring both to the money she spends on lessons and to the emotional cost of her expectations. His tears show how deeply her treatment affects him, emphasizing that her idea of success is making him suffer rather than thrive. The poem also critiques the larger society that encourages this kind of parenting. Singapore, known for its rigorous education system, puts enormous pressure on both parents and children to succeed. The mother's harsh discipline may stem from a desire to give her son opportunities she never had, but her approach is backfiring. Instead of helping him, she is pushing him further away, leaving him emotionally scarred and resentful. The poem ultimately suggests that children need patience and compassion, not relentless pressure and punishment, to truly succeed. Hope you share and subscribe for more poem analysis videos.